Hello, everyone. Playing my duck song. It's my duck song. Yeah, just getting in the flow for the afternoon. So welcome everybody. My name is Mary Jane Tucci. I'm a psychic medium and a spiritual love of life coach. Plus, plus, I'm an astrologer. What? Cray cray. Um, loving the stars, loving the moon, loving the planets, loving the rotations, seeing all the shenanigans the planets do. Um, Yeah, and I don't know what I'm gonna say today anyways. I know there's a lot of shenanigans that are going on with the planets, and I think it's just time for us just to realize there is just some crazy topsy-turvy shit coming down the chute. And we are starting to, this is really an evolutionary time, a time of rediscovering of our directions and where we want to go. And sometimes it's going to feel like we are feeling like we don't want to do it, especially with Mars going into Cancer. Oh my goodness, Mars and Cancer. Mars is my co ruler to Pluto. Pluto's going into Aquarius. Oh, You know, talk about drama. I mean, there could be a lot of drama if you want it to be, but it's how you are going to embrace the drama, I guess we'll say. So how are you going to embrace the drama that is unfolding within your life? And sometimes it's going to be feeling very unbearable. Sometimes it's going to be feeling very um where you just want to, go and cry in the corner, I guess. Especially with Mars and Cancer. But Mars and Cancer is also that energy that can really bring in like a force of, yeah, this is the direction where I want to go. This is what I want to do. Yet you could be questioning a lot because of the sun in Aries. And the sun is exalted in Aries. That's why, with spring starting, spring is here. And you have this energy. Yeah, this is, a starting of something. And the beautiful thing, it's to get started and following that intuition of saying, "Yes, this is the direction I wanna go into," and not begin to be the white rabbit and go down the rabbit hole of a descent of you don't know where the hell you're going to end up kinda thing. Uh, we are seeing unfolding before our very eyes a new world coming together, and it's it's hard to I think, grasp a lot of it because we you're growing up in a certain way and seeing the world in a certain way, and to see the unfolding of a new structure before your very eyes, hey, Lexi, is unfathomable. That's a good word, unfathomable, and that's partially, this is where we're getting the glimpse, Pluto's only going into Aquarius at 0 degrees, right? And then it's gonna retrograde back into, um, Capricorn, and it's gonna go and it's gonna return to the United States Pluto return. It's gonna go over those points. So the banking structure thing, it's gonna go on for a while. This whole falling and restructuring, it's gonna go on for a while because when Pluto's going back into Capricorn, and everything to do with the states is really going through a redefinition of who they are and how they are wanting to show up to the world table, how they want to show up to the world. How does that influence us? That's the whole thing. How is that influencing us? I mean, we just saw a president, address our parliament. I don't think I've ever seen that before. You know, I, and see this, and where I it just feels like there's a lot of members within the parliament are at a point where they don't want to sell Canada out. They don't want to sell Canada out, even though it feels like there is one person that does. And here we are in this unfolding of a newness. I mean, it's not even on the public news where China stepped in and then did a deal with Saudi Arabia and Iran, a peace deal, right? And seeing this peace deal unfold between the two, and what they want to bring to the table. What do you want to bring to the table? And finding that commonality, that common element to a war that has been fought for thousands of years. This is part, like, we're starting to see, this is the glimpse that Pluto is showing us of what we are going to be seeing unfold for the next 20 years. We're going to be seeing this um n- new collaborations coming together. That's why I said, a few years ago, who you think your enemy is not. And who you think your friend is your enemy, kind of thing. This is where you see these different collaborations starting to happen. And not all of them we're going to see in the forefront. You're not going to see everything coming in and unfolding right before, uh, into our eyes. There's a lot of back work that's coming through. A lot of back is being worked upon, I guess you'll say. And then it's like poof, it's a sudden change. It's like a lightning bolt comes out. It's Zeus comes in from the heavens and says, boom, here we are. You know, um, this is going to be the transformation. It's going to be like almost where the feeling of all hope or all despair is there, and then there's a sudden change or a sudden switch. That's where the energies are coming in from, because there is these switches that are going to happen. And I feel like it's almost like you're on a turnabout where you're thinking that you're okay, this is going slow. How am I going to get to that exit? Or am I going to get to that exit? Am I going to get to that entrance? Is this project going to start for me? I've been working on this for so long. Is our doors going to open for me? Am I going to be in a financially good position? Because finances are going to be the huge piece over the next 20 years. We're going to see, and that's a mind fuck for a lot of people, because they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about the finances. It's evil to talk about money. Don't talk about money. It's too evil. It's bad. Psst, back there. No, no. Don't wish for money. That's bad. It's evil. I mean, all of these old ways of thinking need to be cleansed away. So this is also part of a um looking at how we are approaching this new world, this new energy that's coming forth, and how we are going to create our own foundation, our own connections. It's not just within our prepping and getting ourselves prepared for other craziness, but it's also in our connections. Like, how are we connecting with that of the finances? Are we educating ourselves? I'm going to stress, educating yourself on the finances is important. Whether you take accounting 101 or you decide to sign up for some economists class that they've put together, and you want to learn more, it's going to be important for you to understand that structure. It's like going into a business that you have no clue about, or you have no clue about the business, and you know nothing about the business, but you're going to do it. Aren't you going to educate yourself to understand how the tax laws work, how you set up your business structure, whether you're going to be a sole proprietor or corporation or number company or LTD or whatever it is? This is part of it, because we also have, even though that Mars has left and gone into Cancer, there's an educational piece that has to happen here. And it is very important for us to step into that educational piece of not being left out in the cold because, I didn't know. Being not knowing is not an excuse. because Pluto is going to hold you accountable. Saturn is giving Neptune energy. He's in there for the next 2.5 years. He's pepping up this energy of Neptune. Neptune, the Lord of the sea. So you got to think of what is the sea? What is the water? It's the ether, it's the expansion. What is it? Like, what does that mean? Well, he's expanding propaganda. He's going to expand more media. He's going to make in greater, crazier structures when it comes to what they want to put upon us, right? And the other part too is like, where are you structuring yourself within your own spirituality, within your own self? It's important to have that as we step forward. This isn't a time of, oh, I'm going to fly by my seat of my pants. No, those days of flying by the seat of my pants, or maybe I'll wait till something appears that's going to um, work out for me. Maybe I'm going to uh, create something that is new and whatever it is, right? So this is where we have to really, I'm pressing buttons over here that I didn't want to press on my phone. This is where we really have to begin to not fall into the neediness, like being needy, and the you know uh, the oversized. I just got like an over they said like an oversized like teenager, like, or a teenager being in an adult body and then wanting all their needs met, or a baby wanting all their needs met, and they're just oversized. Just give me all that. Me, 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 me. It's like, nah, we can't. I'm SETI. I wish I had little lights here going, woo, 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 woo. This is a warning, uh, of letting you know what you have to get set on. That means if you have to, and I'm looking at this myself, there is a class that I am looking at that I really want to take, and it is by Neil McCoy. And he has a class, and I've been looking at it, and it's intense. It's intense, but it's getting to understand a little bit more about the financial system so that I can, with the little bitty money I make, which ain't very much, but you know what? I want to make sure that I'm utilizing everything to the best of my ability. And I'm not creating excuses, because it's the excuses that gets you into being the whiny baby and the frustration. So here we are, we're stepping into this. Okay, I'm not going to be a whiny baby. I'm not going to get into that. I need to really take that full responsibility in the direction I'm going to go in. And that comes into every area, not only the financial, but it also comes into your health area, because there's still a push with certain things upon you. And the people the one thing, I feel so sorry for many who, because you wouldn't know looking at somebody, right? The issues that they have. You just but it's it's amazing the brainwashing that took on with so many people. And now, as their reality is, has been shattered, and they're coming out of this is where we're going to be seeing a huge stress on the medical system, because there's going to be people who are going to be very sick. And so, understanding your own health needs and what you need in a healthy way, and taking that health matters into your hand as well. So here we are on this learning curve. I feel like we're all having to go back to school, and we're all having to go back and learn some things in order for us to stay grounded, to stay healthy, to stay financially healthy, to be able to create into a world that feels like it's falling apart in so many ways. Yet there's going to be such great opportunity. I just watched an auction in the States of a house, and, in a very nice, area in the LA area, and this auction, everybody who came there had to have a cashier's check for 400 and some thousand dollars, right? They had to show it in order to register it, a cashier's check, and then had to sort of prove that, "Okay, I got the cashier's check. If it goes above and beyond this 400 and some thousand," which was the starting bid, then, that they had, some guys came with cashier's check for $1,000,000 there. So that's the thing, it's like there are people that have this money, and they came and the auction went on, and it sold, I think, $160,000 above the price, the asking price of this property, that they bought. So the money's out there. There's opportunities that are out there. Some of the numbers that I just mentioned might seem astronomical for some people, but are they really? That's the thing. It's a re-education of ourselves and the way that we think and the way that we want to create this this abundance in our life. And through the years, I know for myself, a lot of people would say, "Oh, I just need enough to get by." And it's like, do you really? This is a time of thinking, okay, do I need it just enough to get by? Or am I wanting to look at where I want to be in the next 5 years? And it's not just enough to get by, but it is looking at a number that for yourself that is suitable and to help you along. I was listening to a program, and he was talking about different people that he helped on his platform. And one of the people that he helped, and he helped this person several times, but in 1 month of this person working on his platform, it's very difficult to get on the platform, just, you know, but it's he earned $30,000 plus. That was his take, um, in doing what he does on the platform. And it was like, holy fuck. And I didn't even think the guy was that good. But, people are looking, for someone. They're looking for that guidance, right? And he created that abundance, but unfortunately, he utilized it went back to drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is that the opportunities are there if you are wanting and willing to create them, and wanting and willing to create with, people that maybe you didn't think you would create with, right? And being open to those opportunities. So, yeah, it's there. And I know for myself and the way my body is, do I really want, nothing against my job. I love it. And the people I work with, they're great, but it is a lot of my physical energy, even though I'm out and about and meeting people. But there's other things that I would rather be doing and wanting to do. So, how am I going to create those new opportunities for myself in order to do that? And that's going to be, very important in the coming days, months, years as I go forward. And I think that's where we all need to be. You know, it's one thing to be where many of us are living paycheck to paycheck. How can we step out of that to not just live paycheck to paycheck, but to live beyond that and create more beyond that? And that's where the energies are. That's, what's coming in. And with the Pluto going to be squaring Uranus, I mean, a Pluto square Uranus is a lot different than a Saturn square Uranus. Saturn square Uranus, I want the structures, I want this, I want it like this. Pluto square Uranus. I mean, if you want two crazy old men coming in, That's kind of like what you're going to get with this. And with Neptune and Saturn in Pisces wanting to take you to a new evolutionary height of your truth and your values and what you stand for and what you want to reach for in your life. So here we are, baby. We're in some evolutionary crazy times. And sometimes you're gonna say, yeah, they're real fucked. I'm just watching the banks are on the brink. We're watching how things, I mean, they're wanting to take down TikTok in the United States. The questioning was just like, oh my God. I watched some of it. It was horrible. But I mean, here you go. You can go on Instagram, YouTube. Some of these people on TikTok have YouTube things. If you want to learn about gardening, if you want to learn about dancing, self expression. So, so we got so much. This is my brain. Okay, that's my brain. I just had to share that with you. But yeah, let's step into the newness and let's start learning some new shit and expanding ourselves within this in this world that we decided to come upon and live during this lifetime. So you're mine too. Diggity, 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 do. Yeah. So how, yeah. And then you got weird things like this on there. These are just, I mean, when you see that, it's like, my husband says, yeah, they just want to be seen. And I'm like, yeah, they just want to be seen and we want to watch them. But some of the things that have been, no one protests like the nobody protests like the French do. I don't know. This is what happens when you piss off a bunch of French people. They burnt down, you know, the strikes and everything that are happening in France, you know. Um, this is me coming out for only one drink. You know, this is, and this is.
But did you die? Oh, you're having a bad day? Did you die?
I know.
But did you die? Oh.
Are you having a bad day? Did you die? This is okay tonight, or this afternoon. My husband, I'm sitting there. We had to go out to do some errands, but before we were going to do some errands, this is what my husband brought me. I really haven't touched it. So he brought me this, and he brought me this. So a glass of wine and some cheese and Ukrainian sausage. So I watch the shorts on YouTube and I love it. But did you die? We say that about my driving. Did you drive? Are you still alive? You're still here. You're fine. Stop complaining. So yes, my husband brought me a glass of wine and some goodies too, and it's like I'm like it's. I think he brought that to me. It's now like 4 o'clock. He brought that to me at 1:30, and I'm like, if I'm not going to start drinking now, so But do you have it's like, hang on, we got some errands. We got to go get some stuff for the dog, and then we got to go get some stuff for the house. So,
How long before TikTok's banned? Well, let me tell you what's going on with TikTok. I have a very opinionated explanation for what is going on with TikTok. Okay, TikTok was eating Silicon Valley's lunch. They were taking all the ad money from Instagram, from Twitter, from Google. I'd say Google
true.
and Instagram and Facebook, just killing it, knocking it out of the park. So look at who is saying, "Oh, it's China, and they're tracking everything." And
the thing is, there was one that Periscope. I was on Periscope for the longest time. I loved Periscope. The reason I loved Periscope, and it was affiliated with Twitter, but it Periscope. I reached out to so many people, connected with so many different people on Periscope, and it was absolutely fabulous. And they took it away, and because it was a platform that had free speech, when Hong Kong fell, I was watching. He was called the Hermit of Hong Kong, and he was filming. He goes, "Nobody's showing what's going on in Hong Kong right now." And this is before Hong Kong was actually supposed to go back to China. This was like a year or 2 years before Hong Kong was supposed to go back to China. Um, and showing how the Chinese government was, or the Chinese army was going in there and taking over everything, and banned, so much of social media and everything else. So all of a sudden you didn't hear what was going on in China anymore, or in Hong Kong. You don't hear that. You don't see a lot coming out from Hong Kong anymore. And he used to do a lot of videos that was just showing, the life on the streets. And yeah, then all of a sudden, Periscope left, and things like that. So this is the whole thing. It's like you got to follow.
Communist Party, dude. Facebook tracks you, Google tracks you, everyone tracks you. All over
I mean, Facebook sold how much, when it came to the elections. Who wouldn't,
they've tried.
They wouldn't, even today on YouTube, there's certain things I cannot say. I've had 2 strikes, so I can't say certain things because I will get strikes against me. So here is a platform, I'm not huge a TikTok person. I don't have a lot on TikTok.
The thing that they have.
There's me on TikTok. And I have a few things, a couple meditations, a few things have come up and said and stuff like that. Not a lot. Haven't posted in a while. But I have 371 followers. Holy shit. I didn't know that. That tells you how many people, but I follow a lot of people on here. But that's the thing, is that yeah, follow the money. So much is changing
Going there
on
it's
here.
What people want, the quick hits, the sing-alongs, etc. So they decide.
So the thing is that when it came to the truckers used TikTok to get their voice out and to let people know what was going on. And it really, grew that momentum of the truckers protest. And that's the thing, is like, we have to look at why they want to do certain things. We know it has to do with the money. We know it has to do with, wanting to create a monopoly on something. And even the game Monopoly, if you read the rules of Monopoly, do you know that in the rules of Monopoly, that if the bank runs out of money, that you can start writing it on paper, and writing notes on paper until the money starts coming back into the bank. Weird. And it's just crazy. So, Trudeau must go. All these protests. But that's that's where the energy is right now. The energy is changing. And I really feel that when you look at where Putin and China getting together, and they were doing a peace agreement, and of course they can't do a peace agreement. Oh, we did that when I was a kid. Yeah. Made our own money with our faces on it. Yes. We're looking at the new BRICS um, coming together, which has to do with China, with Russia. Now they're bringing in Saudi Arabia, Iran, South Africa, Brazil, um, y- a few other countries that, like 50, this is like going to be 50% of the population that's going to come in. And it is going to bring in something new and different. Not, I don't know if it's positive. I don't know if it's negative. Like, we know who the leaders are and we understand their reputation, but we know who our leaders are and we understand their reputation. So neither one is good. But it is bringing in something different, a change. And that's what Pluto in Aquarius does. It's bringing in something evolutionary, a change, revolution, because Aquarius is the revolution. That's where, in 1777, that's where the revolution in the United States came. It's like they brought in something that everybody thought was crazy. Nobody wants to follow that. That is nutty. And they brought in the founding of the United States and created the United States. It wasn't the United States till after the revolution. They were fighting. They were British citizens fighting. That's what they were thought, British citizens fighting Brits. So it was a revolution, right? It was, so that's, bringing on this change. This is where it's at. Where, and this is going to be bringing in this revolutionary change, and it's going to be bringing it in intellectually, because that's what Aquarius is. It's an intellectual sign. It is a science. It is a science mind. Has a little bit of the mad scientist coming in there too. So we have an evolutionary energy that's coming in that is very transformational, that has to do with the mind. Saturn and Jupiter meeting for the first time in how many years? In over 800 years, out of an earth sign. So we're going from that of earth into that of air, of science, not of this earth. It's not of this earth. We're going into extraterrestrial energy, and we're entering into that extraterrestrial energy. And we have to be able to understand and learn in this, and not be a bypasser of it all. So we have to understand the concept of it. It's like our grandmothers or grandfathers or great grandmothers and great grandfathers who had to learn a new banking system from a check to a debit card. My father hated the debit card. He never used a debit card. He wouldn't use it. You know, he only used cash. Very smart man. you know, but that's the whole thing. It's like understanding, how is this new evolutionary change going to happen? How am I going to work in this? That's the mundane, that's the money aspect of it. In order for me to create my abundance and create the needs that I need to do within this world that is transforming very quickly and right before my very eyes. So education is going to be the huge one over the next 20 years, and how we are going to educate ourselves for our higher selves and our connection, not only spiritually, but within this world. So, yeah, Mater, there you guys go. So, I'm going to love you guys and leave you. Um, as I said, I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I just had to have spirit guide me. If you're wanting a reading and wanting to take a look at your natal chart to see where Pluto is in your chart, and what does that mean for you in your journey upon your earth walk at this time? So, because the outer planets are our future, shows us what our future endeavors are and where we are starting to create more of our evolutionary, that's my new word, evolutionary journey right now. So have a blessed one. Get a hold of me if you are wanting to book in, and have a great one. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you, and all you say and all you be and all you do. Blessed be everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Maybe go watch the TikTok. Not too much though.